Hello everybody, on this Life's Too Grand Thursday. I hope everybody's having a grand day. And I just come on today to talk a little bit about being conformed to this world. Because the Bible says, be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And what that is basically saying. Because in this season and time, this economic, spiritual season of control, a Jezebel spirit season of regulating the nation. We have some ties, and the assignment of my life, exposing spiritual corruption and the corruption that's within the system, which is basically shattering society. It's not an easy journey because the testing of my faith is being tried right now. Not only just mine, but I have to speak for myself right now because I really can't be the one to be like, well, this is what such is going through. Only by revelation at times that El Shaddai will allow me to do that. But I'm being tried and tested to see whether or not I will still stand in Christ, or to see whether or not I will deny Him, denounce my faith in Him. But right now we're dealing with the Illuminati, Freemasonry, Freemasonry, entertainment industry, business tycoon of a secret society, whom not only they did it, but some of the ancestors before them did it, whom feel it's basically a territorial Jezebel spirit that's within them that is being used to basically say, well, we're founders of this nation, and we have to look over what can and what will not be allowed to operate in society of our economy. So, and right now we have a business tycoon over the nation. There's pros and cons to that. But when the whole coronavirus shut down the world and across the nation has happened, it's basically what they're saying is, look, if you do not comply, be conformed until our ways, then we can we'll tear this thing down, we'll shut it down, and only allow whom we want to barely survive, thrive. Because they have already, they're set, they have enough to survive off for a long time. It's the underdogs in society, the ones that's being hit, and the ones, so it's not just a black enslavement, the nation as a whole, those who are not a part of the secret society and has like basically a say-so in the economy or business-wise, has a strong power and pull, they're basically saying, y'all gonna conform to my ways. And the society is so blind to it because they give you just enough to make it seem like you matter, to make it seem like you're doing something. But at the end of the day, you have the secret society tycoons that's basically saying, now snatch the rug off and up under them. That's the reason why you got so many people that whom is allowed to operate in a business in the economy. Because if you seem like you're a threat to them, or you seem like you have some type of power in you, them are the ones that you see struggling. Them are the ones that they'll hold down, or they have corrupt. I have it right now. I'm using myself as an example because I'm a prime witness for this. A corrupt religious leader. I've been battling with spiritual battles for a long time, because what we have is a spiritual battle that has been birthed into the natural. No longer is things being hidden, because El Shaddai has a vessel that he knows that was going to stand up and speak on his behalf, which is people have been speaking. People have been speaking in a forum, but it's only to justify their wrong so that they can be elevated. Without elevation, with corruption and no righteousness, it's not having any power to stop anything. So we have the spiritual battle war that has been birthed into the natural. Business tycoons is basically saying, because like for the past, in the name of Jesus, because I really I'm not preaching, I'm just giving insight, and I have never, unless I know it's revelation, I know that it is a spiritual attachment to me that is within the Illuminati, within the Freemasonry, and the business industry, because I have never ever studied the Illuminati. I have never ever studied Freemasonry, which I do have, some friends that is membership of the Freemasonry society, which I know has an underground, it's a secret society that nobody has ever, don't even know who's in the organization. Them are the ones who are behind the scenes that is basically using their pawns and spiritual connection, spiritual manipulation to rule throughout society. So this past year or so, we have had a slew. Because you look at it. Like I said, I don't look at a lot of TV. When I do, or I look on the internet, the only thing is entrepreneurship, business this and business that, and people's building this and people's building that. So now, and this is like a business tactic. You have the big tycoons that comes in and crushes the little underdog, and basically put the command on the table. Okay, now if you can walk at this command, then you'll be able to operate at this certain amount of flow, with this certain amount of revenue income coming in. But anybody they think that is going to rise to power and that has not been, and they're coming up, them is the ones that they crush. So that's the reason why the economy has went down. That's why if you listen, you have heard them say, okay, the economy was down, now it's up. They're basically testing their strength and their power to see how much control that they have, who is going to conform, and the ones that is conforming, them is the ones that they're allowing to operate and be in a position of leadership, or to hit a major platform. When anybody that they seem like is a threat and not following or not being able to be controlled, them is the ones that they're tear down. Like I've been for years now, I've been dealing with this corrupt religious leader, in which I left off and up under their leadership, and because they always used to say, "Oh, you so powerful, you so anointed," and they will always talk about the nation and have the power over the nation. So whenever I decided to go ahead and walk away from that, because I knew that they were stealing the glory from God and using me for selfish purpose and was corrupt. Me personally, I've always walked in a lifestyle that right is right and wrong is wrong. I ain't always been perfect, because I have, twisted, but whenever I felt like it's twisting life out of somebody, no, that's not none of me. So even with that being said, the corrupt religious leader that I once was involved with has and always have and is using spiritual manipulation. This thing is so deep. Dimensional travel into political ties. So now you have corrupt religious leaders, you have a corrupt secret society of the economy, and you have the corrupt justice system. Now when you're dealing with the corrupt secret society of the economy, and you're dealing with the justice system, now this is power, money and power. You get with the money and power. And this now, when the corrupt religious leaders come in, now this is what you have: rulers of this world, spiritual wickedness, rulers of this world coming in, playing a part. I was sitting here because I've been having opposition, and it had got so bad to the point, because before I left the congregation, the man told me I did not have a right to leave the congregation, and that would not be acceptable. That I wasn't going nowhere. I left anyway. But by me leaving, he has used his spiritual connection and to link itself to my life. Not only that, but because of who I know within the industry, I had connection within the industry, he has taken upon himself to try to link with them. Now, this is a spiritual sense that's being birthed over into the natural to cause havoc in my life. Power. So things go on. I thought, I'm gonna try to handle it the right way. And I sought the justice system to try to rectify the issue. But because I had people, tycoons with money and connection to the justice system, and now you got tycoon, corrupt justice system people, and corrupt religious leaders, a threefold realm within, because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, and rulers of wickedness, darkness of this world. Now, I go into the justice system, state my case. After I filed the warrant. And because you had a corrupt figure who stood for leadership, and you have another corrupt figure that stands for leadership, they came together. I was thrown in jail, falsely in prison for stalking and for practicing my First Amendment rights, which is the judge told me I did not have a right to petition, to do up a peaceful petition to come before the court to have this man removed out of leadership. They told me the judge told me that I did not have a right to practice my First Amendment rights and locked me up. Now, this is how corruption is playing a part within society. Now, I'm going to tell you how the spiritual ties in with it and it's being birthed over into the natural. I was sitting here, been praying to God, praying in the spirit, because they say sometimes you have to, and what's happening to me is in the natural. So I don't pray in the natural sense, I pray in the spiritual sense, because this is a gift to speaking to the holies of holies of God. Praying in the spirit, and God finally dropped in my spirit a revelation that it's a three-dimensional realm which corruption is traveling through and birthing stuff into the natural. So you have the spiritual realm, which has been stirred up. Then you have the vessel body that has spirit that is transcending throughout what they call here in the natural, the matrix realm, the internet. So they're traveling and communing throughout the internet matrix realm lifestyle, interacting with the spiritual realm. So now that's two. You got the spiritual realm, corrupt religious realm, and they're birthing it into the natural as one more realm. So what they're doing, so the ones who think that they're controlling is being controlled, and it's going to float over into the natural. It may seem a little bit odd, but you have a lot of people who have been trying to use the spiritual gateway to be elevated within the higher leadership. And you see right now they say that the nation is in a national prayer, and they've been praying for so many days. And you have people who have tried to commune with the other side. Now, this is what the Illuminati, Freemasonry, and the industry do to try to foresee and look into or to know futuristic things of what's going to go on around the future. And then you got Scientologists, and they're bickering back and forth because they're saying, you can't have and dwell within in society in life without the use of knowledge of science. So they're trying to use science to predict the future. But what has happened is spiritual corrupt leaders, the Illuminati, Freemasonry, and the TV industry, who is known for demonic use, are communing with the dead to see what's going on or what is going to go on. So they have stirred up some spiritual